Hi everyone, hi fashionista, my beautiful people, my lovely viewers, thank you very much. I've been saying subscribe, don't forget to like and continue to subscribe to my channel. Today I want to show you how to cut 8 pieces skirts. The easiest, simplest way to cut an 8 pieces skirt. Yes, and how do we go about that? So if you are really interested in learning how to cut the 8 pieces skirt, keep on watching and don't just watch and learn, and watch to the fullest so that you understand better on how to cut it. Now, the way I cut my 8 pieces skirt may be different from the way you've been seeing, but mine is very easy, simple, and perfect way to cut too. So you know, I said it is an 8 pieces skirt and the down must be full, not too full, but it is okay, you make it full. So the down part of the skirt, you consider that first. What you need for cutting an 8 pieces skirt, you need your skirt length, any skirt measurement, you need your skirt length, you need your skirt waist, you need your skirt hip, and also you need your knee length measurement. You need your hip line also. So firstly, if you want to cut an 8 pieces or any pieces skirt, what you consider first is the wideness of the clothes you want to cut. Do you get? So now for the wideness of this, I want to use 10 as the wideness of the ground because I want it to be full. So this is 10 inches as the wideness here. So after getting the wideness of the skirt, you measure your length, the full length of the skirt. So the full length we are using here is, our skirt length is 42. Our skirt length is 42. So I'll add 1 inch to it because I'm going to cut this out. After cut, I will cut it out and I'll also join band here. I'll attach I can put bias at the upper parts here. I can put bias to turn it, or I can tape it after sewing. So I just add 1 inch to the full gown measurement. That's 40. The gown length is 42. Adding 1 inch will give you 43. So this is 43. Actually, if you want to sew a skirt for a customer, always ask the person, do you like your skirt to be very full? Because some customers, they don't like something very full, especially those fat ones. They will tell you, I don't want something that will make me boo boo boo, that will make me more bigger than the stature I have already. So you ask the person, do you like your skirt to be full or you don't like it? You put that into consideration too. So, and you also ask the customer, do you want your skirt length to be longer than your full length? Because most videos you see that most of them, their skirt length are always longer than their normal skirt length. So it gives the clothes shape, and you know, if you are considering that, you have to make sure that the person has a car. Yes, if you want the length to be very full, so that when the person drop out of a car, he will just go to the event direct. So now let's continue. So this is 43 as the length. You measure 43. You measure 43. You measure 43. After you measure 43, you measure your knee length measurement. You measure what? Your knee length measurement, which is 18. Some people do ask me, is this 18 a standard measurement for measuring knee? Yes, I can say that because most common measurement of a knee length is always 18 inches. Except if the person is taller or has big hip, you can simply use 19. But some, like me, leper like me now, my skirt length is 38. So I don't use my knee length as 18. So I use my knee length as what? 17. Because some people normally like their skirts to have shape before the knee measurement. It's not that when we talk about measuring from the knee, you won't measure to the knee direct. You don't need to measure to the knee direct. You can just stop your shape from here. You can see the way we stand. You can see the measurement. You can just stop your measurement from the curve of the person here. So it will really give shape. And some people, if you even want to make it easier, you can just say you want to drop 25 or 24 downward. You see, 25 downward to make the flare much. So then you check your knee measurement, whether it's complete. So you can see the way it is now. So another thing is that it's not all pieces, 8 pieces skirt that you need to measure 10 here. It depends on how much the clothes is. It's not that this is the normal thing you can use. You can simply use 8 for it. So I just used 10 because this cloth is much, and the top I'm sewing on it doesn't take much of cloth, right, like that. So I'm using 10. You can simply put it at 9. It's okay, but 10 too is not bad to use. So let's leave it at that thing. So now for this person, now I do tell people that if you are measuring your measurements for the pieces skirt, you add ½ inch allowance for sewing for any pieces. So you measure 2.5 here, 2.5 here. Remember, we are cutting an 8 pieces cloth. We have different ways of cutting. Some will add the hip measurements and add some inches. I don't do that. This is the way I'm taught, and since over 12 years I've been doing this, I've never made a mistake or an imperfection of cutting it this way. So I'll measure 2.5 downward. After measuring it 2.5 downward, okay, so you measure this 2.5 from here downward. Why we are measuring 2.5 is that, you know, your dart to dart of your clothes, if you want to sew it up now, or you want to sew normal skirts, normal straight skirts, when you want to measure the person's dart, you know, you can say you measure 4.5. Like this person's measurements now, you say you measure 4.5. So this person, instead of you measuring, you know, if you divide that 4.5 into 2, it will give you 2.25. So instead of you still putting quarter, just put 2.5 direct, because you are still going to what, sew this thing into 2, because the pieces won't be 1 for the front. It will be 4 pieces in the front and also 4 pieces at the back side. That's why I'm using 2.5 for this side. So if the person's hip measurement is like 48, 49, 50 and so on, you can simply use this as 3 inches, 3 inches, and that's all. It's not, you don't have to make it more than that. So if the center is okay, the side can take the other measurement. So the 3 inches 2.5 is okay for cutting the pieces. So if you are not talking about 12 pieces, 11 pieces, or 12 pieces, 10 pieces, you can change the cutting that way. So you can see the way it is now. This is our first pieces. This one we are cutting now, we are cutting it twice. This first one, we cut it twice for the front and twice for the back. That makes 4 before we cut the side. Measure, you take your scissors. So this is the number 1 pieces. You can see the way it is. You can see this is the number 1 pieces. So we are cutting this 4 of these, 2 for the front and 2 for the back. If you want to manage your clothes, you can see this place is short, this place is wide. Now you go for the wider place, so that you can manage the clothes. If you are using it the way it is down, you won't like it, because you will waste the customer's space. Another thing in this our fashion business is that if you know how to manage clothes, customer will continue coming to your place. They will continue approaching you every time they come to you. So they will continue patronizing you rather. So you can see. So we want to cut the second one. Now people will bring 3 years of material. They will ask you, they want to sew skirt and blouse with it. It looks funny to me sometimes. So you want it to be like what SYDDY'S, our great designers, this Lumini, SYDDY'S fashion designer. If you want the best of the way she sews for customer, you cut it this way and make your skirts very full. Having a full pieces skirt makes the clothes, the outcome of the clothes, come out very well. You really love it when your pieces is very full. Yeah, I do love it. I don't know about you. So we are cutting the second one now. This is the second one we are cutting. you place those 4. I've cut the 4, 2 for the front and 2 for the back. I've cut it. Place it. You now take one of it. Take one out of this. Then you place it at the bigger side of your material. See? I've placed it this way. So, from here, from the upper part here, you measure your knee length measurement, which is 18. Do you see? From here, you measure your hip line. For somebody like me, lepa like me, I do 6. I use 8. But for this person, she's using hip 42 or so. So 40, okay, she's using hip 40. So now I'm going to use 9 for her. I'm using hip line 40 for her. So this is our hip line. This is our so this is the hip line. This is the knee length measurement, which I use 9. It's not that using 9 for your hip line is constant. You can use it depends on the person hip. So for this person, she doesn't have much hip. I'm using 10. There are some people that they have big hip. You can just measure their hip line. I've seen somebody that is using hip 54. The hip line is 12 inches. So you can simply measure the hip line, but as a professional designer and with the experience in this work, I do use 8, I do use 9. So this is 9. It depends on the kind of hip. Some people has a big hip, so this is 9 inches here. So you know, when we join these 2 pieces together, you know, I use 2.5 here, 2.5 here. When we join this together now, when we join this together, the measurements will reduce. So it will give us 4 inches, 4 inches. You know, our bust to bust measurements, our bust span may be 4 inches or 4.5 inches. See, when we join this and we join this together, there's an ½ inch moving away from the measurement. This thing is 2.5 here. We are going to join it with ½ inch, so it will remain 2. So that 2 plus 2 will give us what? 4 inches. Please, I don't want you to make a mistake of this cutting. It's very easy, but it is meant for you to understand it. So it will give you what? 4 inches. So you just put your 4 inches at the edge, at the beginning of this measurement. You can see where I'm putting it. At the beginning of this, of the cloth, you put that your 4 inches there. Because if you join the 2 together, it will give you 4. This is your 4. Then you now measure the person's waist measurement. The person's waist measurement, which is what? 35. So 35 divided by 4 will give you what? 8.5 So this is it. So on that 8.5 you measure 2 inches for allowance. Sewing allowance. So for a hip line, our hip measurement is what? 40. You do the same thing here. You put the 4 inches here. Then you measure 40. Then you put the same 2 inches allowance. Do you get? I hope you're saying it. So at the knee measurement, you put the same 4 inches here. See, if you are measuring the knee, you know, I did a video on the knee, about the knee, talking about the knee when I was doing the street gown measurements. You can see that from up to down, we have a shape from our upper part to the down part. So our niche will go inside a little bit than the hip measurement. So for you to do that, you check the measurements here. 4, that is 12 here, Abby. You won't use that 12. You measure 4 inches here. Then let me do it like this so it will be easy. 4 inches on the hip side. Then the measurement of the hip is 10. You minus 1 inches from the measurement of your hip to get your knee measurement. If you minus 1 here, that's 2. From the back to 1 here, that's 4. From your normal measurements, you measure 4 inches away from your normal measurement to get your knee length. If your hip measurement is 40, your knee measurement will be what? 36. If you minus 4 inches from the knee measurement, so it will give you what? 36 inches. So this is 4 inches here. So 36 divided by 4, it will give you what? 9. Then you add 1.5 inch. You know, we measured 2 inches here. We don't have anything that will happen to our hip here. Our hip will always increase. Our knee cannot increase muchly that way. So you just measure 1.5. And you are putting 1.5 because you want to make it to have a nice shape. Then you add 1.5. Then you join it together. You can see. See. Are you seeing it? Do you see the way it is? Then you cut this out first. Then you put this to the other side. Let's cut this out first. I've been cutting my pieces this way for so long, and it is always perfect. So if you take to this, you will really enjoy the cutting. So you know we've cut the side. Then you take this, you place it this way. You make sure it is on the same line. The same line, you can see it is on the same line. So you can just check here. What was here? 21. And what do we use for the measurements here? We use 10. 10 plus 10 is 20. So if it is 21, it's not yet bad. It's okay. You can see. Then you cut out too. Excuse. You can see. So you see this now. Are you seeing this? We are cutting 4 of these too. The way we cut this, we cut it. Another thing I want to tell you when you are cutting your pieces, so that you not go here down, you not go enter gbese. Always put this into consideration. Always put this into consideration. If you are cutting your pieces, you face the front to front, back to back. You can see this is the front now. And for this is the widest place. Then if you place it, you can see this is the front. This is the front of the clothes. This is it. Okay, this is the front we chalk here. You can see it is the front I chalk. Because I wanted to manage that place. That was why I chalked the front. So you place the front to front. Don't make mistake. You place the front to front. So let's cut this out. So you can see what I'm telling you. You make sure it is front to front. You can see this. Please don't make mistake. People do make mistake. I have made a mistake of this when I was still learning. So you too can make it. So I don't want you to make it. That's what I'm telling you. So front to front, back to back. You can see front to front here. So when you've cut this, take one of this. You can simply take the one you put chalk and cut the other one. But don't forget we are managing it. That's why we are turning it. That's the way you manage it. You use this side, you use the other side, so that you can manage your clothes. And after we've cut this, I will measure the remaining yards that is in the clothes, because the clothes I'm using to cut this Ankara is 6 yards. So after I finish, I will measure it and tell you what is remaining after cutting the 8 pieces out of the 6 yards of Ankara. So let's cut this out too. So always do it like this. Another thing is that if your clothes has border, do you know what they call border? Some clothes always have design at the down parts here, and you want it to align with each other. So if you are cutting that way, you just cut in one side like this. But if it doesn't have any kind of design at the down or at the upper part, you can simply be turning it here, so that you manage the clothes. And you keep on encouraging me. Thumbs up that. Give me to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. So we are cutting the last one now. This is the last one, 444. So when I finish, I will show you the outcome of the joining. I beg, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and your comments are needed. I need those comments to know where I'm lacking, where I need to add to, where I need to deduct, so I will know what you need, what you want. Please, I need you to give me some comments, some thumbs up. I need that also. So this of the pieces, of the 8 pieces skirts cutting. It is very simple, easy, and perfect. So we are through. I think we are through. Yippee! So this is it. If I finish sewing it, I will show you mine. This is the center. You can see the way it is. If you join it, you see. You can see. If I join it now, I will show you. Thank you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. So I will, after sewing it now, I will show you. For joining, you take the first two, the center, you take the center and sew. And sew it half inch. You can see what I'm trying to say now. That you use your dart to dart measurements for the pieces you are cutting. Assuming this is an 8 pieces skirt now. If you want to cut the center, the first center part of the front part of the 6 pieces skirt, you measure 4.5. Can't you see? You see, this is the 4.5. Now, if you join this, it will give you the 8 inches needed for the measurement. So you can see the way it is. That's the simplest way. So after we've joined the center parts, you will now put the back on it. You put the back. This is the front. You know, I said I chalk the front because I wanted to manage the clothes that time. So you just put, you can see, this is the side you cut. This is the one you use to join it. This one will be the side where you take your hip measurement. This one is the joining. So let's join this together too. I haven't joined the first side. This is the side we've joined now. Then you join the second side of it. You can see this is the hip side, this is the joining side. Then you place it together on it. Then you join. You join it the same way we did the others. People to use half inch. So if you are not using half inch and you are sewing with tiny stitch, when the person is watching the clothes can start tearing from there. So you take the downward. Yeah, you may be wondering that when I was cutting, I did not put zipper allowance. I did not put zipper allowance because it doesn't need an allowance. So as far there's a joining at the back of your skirt. So what you are going to do is that from the center part of the skirt, you can see this is the folding. So from the center part of the skirt, you measure 7 inches. From that 7 inches, you stitch. This is the 7 inches for the zip. Then from the 7 inches, you stitch so that it won't start losing. So after you've stitched, then you lose this one. You lose it. Our zip. You can see the upper part of the zip is almost close to 1 inch or 3/4 inches. What you are going to do is you cut a little out of it. So after you've cut a little, you can simply make it an invisible. But if you don't want to make it an invisible, you can simply do it as a normal way we do use to fix zip. See? You can simply just do this way. Then from here, you move it up and you check if the joining is open. You lift your meshing. You raise it up. My videos are beginner friendly, so you can please try and share it to other people too. Try and share my videos on groups. You lap it. You can see the way I'm lapping it. That's all. Doesn't matter if we have zipper allowance there. You can see doesn't matter, it does not. So what this you're joining, you take it to your overlocking machine, then you join. See, after the joining of the pieces, you see how much the pieces is. See, are you seeing it? See the down part, see how full it is. You can simply even calculate what this will give you. See, this 60, this 60, this is 16, that's 66. So 266 is what? 132 or so. You can see the way it is. See how lovely it is. And for the remaining material, after the cut, I told you it was 6 years of material I used to cut it. So see, 1, 2 yards, and and see. So we use 3 years to cut the 8 pieces. See, 3 yards, 1, 2, 3, to cut the 8 pieces skirt. So don't forget to like, comment, and continue to subscribe to my channel. I hope you will learn and practicalize this. Thank you very much. Some other time.